My name is Hassan Ali Khan. I'm the co-founder and CTO at Merxius. We are India's most awarded augmented and virtual reality company. Since 2012, we've been working on different technologies, different products, different sectors. We've worked with the Indian Army, to Airtel, to other customers, and we are now focusing on our virtual reality product. It's called Red. The idea is we believe going forward in the future, virtual reality is going to change fundamentally how we interact with data, how we interact with computers. And what we believe is that when people will want to create their own VR experiences, currently it's kind of hard to do. The tools that are available are aimed at developers. So we're building Red. The idea with Red is that if you work with any 3D data, so whether you're an interior designer, an architect, what you can do is you can take your 3D content, import it into Red, and in a few minutes you can create a complete virtual reality experience. So we believe virtual reality is going to come into every single domain where we are working today, right? So say for example from education to training, healthcare, to any field that you can think of, because what virtual reality is, how people typically see it is just a technology. We don't see it as a technology, we see it as a new paradigm. And when we say a paradigm, we mean it's fundamentally going to be different from what we're doing today. So when you work with a mouse and a keyboard right now, you will click in 2D space. But that same content can also be seen in 3D, and that is easily possible using virtual reality. So for example, the work that we're doing with the Indian Army right now is to help them improve their training efficiencies. So compared to a classroom based training where they say these are the different parts of an engine, instead if you can put that person in front of a virtual engine and let them see it and walk around it and touch it, that improves the efficiency, that improves how much they retain and how much they work better. And that's where we see virtual reality going into the future. I have a personal theory, and I believe that we have an adoption lag. What that means is when technology is created in other parts of the world, say in this case in the US for virtual reality, we take a little time for adoption in India. So for example, when DVDs were launched, it took 4 or 5 years for us to get it in India. When cell phones were launched, it had taken a slightly longer time. So in the same way, the adoption lag is decreasing. So what has now happened is with virtual reality, we are finding in just a couple of years there's a lot of buzz around it. Obviously things like the Bahubali VR experience and other companies promoting it, it's helped a lot, and what that has done is raise the visibility and let everyone know about these technologies. So tomorrow on my panel, I'll be with some really interesting people where we'll be bringing our perspectives of how these different technologies, so whether that is virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all of these different things, how they are being used in India today and how that can extend into the future. So how can virtual reality, for example, revolutionize how education is done, or how can artificial intelligence change how banks give out loans. So these are the things that we'll be talking about. So while there are small discussions today in small places, so one company might be thinking about it, or a couple of people might be talking about it, we believe going forward that these are going to be standards. So when you go to a bank, for example, you will definitely be talking to an artificial intelligence system which will give you your information. Okay, so this is our third year participating at StartAP, and I think over the years we've seen a maturity happening in terms both of participants, of the content, of the outcomes of the event. Today we have good brand marquee names coming in for the investor sessions, for the speaker sessions. So what this has done is raise the profile of the event, and we're extremely happy to be a part of it, and we look forward to a continued association going forward. Passion is the one word that would define StartAP. It's not just from the sessions that are happening on the stage, it's also amongst the participants who are here, it's amongst the team which is driving it. Everyone has a lot of passion, and I think StartAP is just passion to us. I don't like giving lessons because I don't think I am someone who has reached that level where I can give advice. But one thing I can pass on, which I've heard from other people, is don't get too married to your idea, right? Your idea, you might come up with something interesting, it might be your baby, but you have to learn to distance yourself. You have to look at your idea dispassionately. You have to be able to look at it and say, okay, maybe at this point it's not going to work, or maybe it has to work in this way. Be open to different ideas, be open to different, even negative criticism. That's how you'll really be able to grow as an entrepreneur.